Guys, chasewins.com. It is Friday and it is the 16th of April, and we're back for another free play video. I'll make this short and sweet for you guys because I'm actually going to give you two. Let me tell you what we've got going on for Friday. You can get a 3-day MLB pass to carry you through the weekend if you want to. In honor of Jackie Robinson Day, we put that on sale for $42 even. That'll go through Friday. Obviously, we did the extra day promo yesterday. That is now gone. If you would like to get everything we have this weekend, as far as all sports goes, soccer, MLB, NHL, NBA, you can get a 3-day all sports pass for $99, which that'll probably be a better bang for your buck based on everything that you get. But then also you can get just the top plays if you want them. If you want a daily top play, we have one in MLB going tonight. It's $25. Win or get the next day free. But the most important thing so far that we have going on this weekend is Jerry has a soccer game of the week. And guys, last week he had a game of the week and he absolutely crushed it. And for everybody that was on that play, obviously you saw what happened in that game. I mean, it was never in doubt. So for anyone that thinks that was a big game, you have seen nothing yet. This is going to be a huge game of the week. Now, the game of the week doesn't go until Sunday, but we posted it yesterday. We're already having people jump on. You are going to want to get this early to avoid any line movement. Now, we're not saying line movement will happen, but guys, you know how the market works, how volatile things can be once it gets closer to the start of any game or any action. So you want to make sure to avoid that. You get on it early. But it does not go until Sunday, so you have plenty of time. If you haven't already, it's $50 and you get instant access to the play. The second you make your purchase, boom, you can log in, get your play, make your wager, and kick back and wait for that game to cash. And it does come with a profit guarantee. That game must win, or if it doesn't, you get 3 days of all premium and daily top plays in all sports, no questions asked. So guys, for $50, you have nothing to lose. One way or another, you are going to make a pile of money, but this game's not going to lose. Trust me when I tell you, he loves this game. He was looking at this game last weekend before his other game of the week went off. The line came out lower than expected. Everything went absolutely as he wanted it to, and he released it immediately as soon as all the information came in. So you definitely want to be on this play. So go to chasewins.com, go to the purchase page. It's the first tab up there. While you're there, go ahead and jump on an all sports pass or whatever sport you want to play through the weekend. Let's get that bankroll really, really beefed up over the weekend. And that way next week you can jump on something longer term. Now, I am looking at an MLB game of the week. I'm not going to tell you what day it's coming, because if it doesn't, then I know that everybody is chomping at the bit for my first big MLB release of the season. I know you guys are excited, and don't worry. This is a long season. I had to tell a client this earlier this morning when he was like, hey, man, and this was off of one losing MLB day after he sent this. He's like, hey, you need to go on a run like you did the first week where you won every single day. I said, guys, we're just now 2 weeks through the MLB season. Teams do not even get truly settled in until their starting pitching rotation has run that rotation 4 to 5 times. So usually 4 to 5 weeks, that's when everything is settled in and you really know what a team is made of or not made of. Now, obviously, you guys know I'm the MLB king. Losing days are going to happen. Doesn't matter what it is. Or a lot of them going to happen? Absolutely not. And today's not going to be any different. I have a huge MLB card that I was looking at for Friday. Obviously, I didn't release every play. I am going to put a couple of them up for the YouTube members only section. So guys, if you are a member of the channel, make sure you're on the lookout for that. There's going to be 2 plays that didn't quite make the cut. They will be given out for free there. You can click the join button, become a member if you want to do that. Make sure if you're not subscribed, you do so. Hit the notification bell, the join button, hit the like button, everything. You let us know you appreciate it. And guys, I think that's it. If you also, there is a link in the description below if you want to watch the previous video for Friday. Jerry gave out a big soccer play, and he's telling you what's going on in soccer, what's going on through the weekend, everything. Make sure you check that out. Show Jerry some love there. because you're going to start seeing a lot more videos from him as the months go on, and once all of his, opening up a brand new office and everything, him getting settled in, he's now getting to where he can take that time to do those things. So make sure you do that, guys, and make sure you're with us for a huge weekend. Go jump on the game of the week. It's going to be a massive blowout. Let's get on a couple of free plays. I'm going to give you a couple of totals plays that I want you to look at. And again, you may disagree with me in these. You can do what you want with your money, but these are ones that the line, either way, just based on the numbers alone, the lines opened up a half point to a full point too low, just based off of the small sample size that we have in the numbers. And again, you have no sample size with some of them, which makes these totals even more intriguing based on what you can go back and look at last year, the previous season, spring training, what they did in minor league ball the last time they were there when they were on assignment. So guys, I zoned in on these two totals that I want to talk to you about. The first one being Detroit and Oakland. They played last night. And I'm telling you right now, this total sitting at 8 runs, it should have opened up at 9. If it would have been at 9.5, I don't think I would have argued it, to be honest with you. Detroit and Oakland sitting at 8 runs right now, you can take the over. It is a little bit higher than I like. It's at minus 130, but I'm taking the over 8 runs. And guys, there's really not a lot to this. I mean, right now, I'm not overly impressed by either pitcher that's going to start. But right now, Detroit last night had a completely depleted bullpen and no real closer to work off of that was rested. I mean, they did end up putting in a closer last night, but he went in, already with just worn slap out, and it was an ends to a mean. We talked about that on Twitter yesterday when I told you that I liked Oakland. And I'm not saying I don't like Oakland tonight, but I don't see any value with Oakland, because if you want to take it in something that's worth buying, you would have to take Oakland on the run line. And right now, I just don't know that, even though I'd say the line is a little bit soft for taking the run line, so there is a little bit of monetary value there. I don't see any value in itself to favor Oakland in this spot. When they went out there, and they had to play a tough game yesterday. Now, one thing is that Oakland, from a pitching standpoint and defensive standpoint, is still healthier. You still have guys that really, truly need a day off. And so that right there is going to put Oakland at a better advantage, and that right there is going to make Detroit very vulnerable to giving up hits. And Oakland, who runs the base as well, if they get on base, you know they're going to score. Now, while this may not mean a lot in the first 3 innings, once you get innings 6 through 8, that's when you could really see a lot of careless pitches being thrown, the very leaky bullpen at that. That's where they can get on base, and that's where Oakland will beat you every time out. You let them get on base, you let them have the option of running, even if they have to sacrifice an out to do so, they will cross the plate, put insurance runs up, and Oakland's one of those teams that doesn't just want to get up there where they can beat you. They have had way too many times in the last few years where they know that a 5-6 run lead doesn't always mean that they're okay. So they are going to keep crossing the plate every opportunity they get. So from an aggression standpoint, we know that they are not going to stop scoring runs if the ability is there, which I love. Detroit being the same way, because Detroit has faced losing season after losing season after losing season. So any chance they get to win, especially when you're talking about another team within the American League, that Detroit, if there's any team that they are chasing, if they're chasing a team right now to say, we want to take your spot, obviously you can say Cleveland and Minnesota because they're in the division. Right now, we don't know what Minnesota's going to do. They have the talent to make a wild card. I don't think they will. Chicago is going to run away with that division, in my opinion, which I've been telling you for 2 years to watch out for them. I don't think Cleveland is good enough to make wild card this year unless they're going to have to go on multiple runs this year. And while they most certainly have the talent to do so, I think losses outside of their division is what's going to keep them outside of the playoffs. So while I think that if there's any team that Detroit's saying, hey, we want to take your American League playoff spot, it's Oakland. Because Oakland has been good enough to go up against anybody they want to. Year after year after year, what do? They give up just too many losses, either at the very beginning or the very end. They always have to settle for a wild card, and they always have to go play a very tough opponent in the openings of an ALDS. And, going out there and having to play a team like a Houston or somebody like that and beat them best 3 out of 5 is just not something Oakland's been up to the task of. Detroit is somewhat chasing this Oakland team, and what Detroit did to sweep Houston on the road was nothing short of miraculous. But now that they had to do that and then have no days off before they immediately had to travel 2,000 miles to the Bay Area to take on Oakland in a series, that really hurt them from a pitching and bullpen standpoint. They were 100% depleted yesterday. They're not so much depleted today, but they're not back to full strength, and they're not going to be this weekend. So read between the lines of what I'm telling you. They are the most depleted pitching staff in baseball at this very moment and will be through the weekend unless something else changes. So this is going to be a tough weekend for Detroit to be able to try to walk out of Oakland winning this series. It's not impossible. So what they are going to have to rely on is pure offense and outscoring their opponent. Those things taken into account, I don't think that Oakland's going to be able to keep them from scoring. I think Detroit will be able to put up between 2 and 4 runs, and I just don't see a world where Oakland doesn't get 5+, because I do think they'll get some late rally action that will put up 2 to 3 runs in itself, and I see this one going over 8 runs. So take the over 8 minus 130. Another one that we've got, the Angels and the Twins going tonight. Out in California, the Twins, again, a team that's up and down. We don't know really what they're going to do. I think this will be the year that they fall out of the postseason or out of wild card contention, because I don't think the American League, unless it really depends on what the MLB truly does at playoffs. They can still make changes, and I still think changes to the playoffs will come. I just don't think that unless they're going to let every single division, no matter what, have multiple people represent the division in the playoffs, which I don't agree with, if they change it, which I hope they do, and there are talks about it, if they go back to the standard playoff format, I don't think the American League Central will have 2 people representing them. I think Boston's going to play spoiler alert in the American League. I think Toronto's going to play spoiler alert in the American League. I also think that the White Sox are going to run away with their division, and you're going to have teams like Oakland play it too. But the Angels are a team that everybody knows I'm high on this year. Anybody that got my futures picks knows that there's a special thing in there about the Angels for some big plus money that I am more than confident about. So you can still get the futures pass, and you'll be able to get that in. And there's still huge plus money on that play, so it's still not too late. But this one right here, the Twins are making a call up. Obviously, this isn't his debut by any means. It will be his yearly debut, but he had to go down to work on velocity and command. He had no command over his pitch arsenal, and he did not have enough. He didn't have speed. He didn't have power. And the teams that he was going up against, he was getting railed. So he had to go back, fix these things through minor league ball and through some rookie ball type leagues. So when he did that in 2020 and late 2019, obviously his velocity's gone way up. I think it'll benefit him a lot. And I do think that his command, as the season goes on, I think that he'll end up being one of the better starters that Minnesota has and one of the more reliable ones. But having to go out against such a dangerous, overlooked lineup like Anaheim, where you have Dexter Fowler, you have Anthony Rendon, who is an RBI machine. You have Mike Trout. Look at all these guys that you have. Ohtani, that you can have any given night is someone that's in the rotation as a designated hitter, somebody that's in the rotation if he plays outfield, somebody that if they're playing National League and he's pitching, he will still hit. This is a game where I see the Angels banking multiple home runs. I think the Twins, based on, I think a lot of people are high on the Angels pitching tonight. Me, not so much. They're not going to keep the Twins bat silent all night. The Twins are going to get some scores at some point. But I think that early going, with Joe Madden being the best at knowing how to attack unprepared pitching, this is where you're going. He's going to tell his guys, listen, if you want it, you want to get it early. And I think that they're going to be able to attack early and often. And this 8.5 run total, I can take over at minus $1.15. I love it. If you're playing with a local book that doesn't typically do half runs and they're going to give you 9, lower your bet just a little bit, but I still like the over. But that over 8.5, minus $1.15, I love it. So there you go. Detroit and Oakland over 8 runs. Twins, Angels over 8.5 runs. Those are your 2 free plays. Go to chasewins.com, jump on our game of the week, get a package through the weekend. Come join us in the winner's circle. There's a top play going tonight in Major League Baseball, and I've also got there's a big baseball card tonight. Top play, it's highlighted by. I've also got 1 pick in the NBA and 2 premium picks in the NHL. And guys, and there also is horse racing that will be up later this afternoon. All the other stuff is already posted. So go get on. As soon as you make your purchase, you'll have instant access to all the winners for today. I can't wait to share them with you. Join us, and we'll see you in the winner's circle.